Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam Robbins, and today I'm going to talk about 7 things men should know about the vagina. Now, a little while ago, I made a popular video called 10 Fascinating Facts About the Penis You Did Not Know. And to my surprise, it got a ton of views. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised since a large portion of my YouTube audience is men, and guys tend to be a little bit obsessed about their penis. However, I didn't want to leave out or forget about the vagina. And because of the questions and comments from the guys, I decided to make today's video about the 7 things men should know about the vagina. So guys, sit back and listen carefully. The first topic is that women get erections too. So obviously when a man gets aroused, extra blood flows to the penis, it swells, grows in size, and hence an erection. Well, the same thing happens to a woman. More specifically, extra blood flows to her clitoris, and yes, the clitoris also expands and grows in size. And yes, it also gets a little bit erect. And just like the penis, the clitoris at this time becomes extra sensitive, just like the tip or the head of your penis. And I'll talk more about the clitoris in a minute. Just know that if you try to stimulate the clitoris too much or too hard or too fast, it can become overly sensitive and may actually retract back underneath the hood to avoid further stimulation. Thus, you need to take your time and most importantly, listen to or watch for or feel for specific clues that she will express based maybe on her words or body language, letting you know when to do more or maybe when to back off. Remember, it's about her pleasure, not yours, when you're trying to arouse and please her. By the way, guys, if you're not able to get hard or get an erection or maintain one, make sure you also visit the description area underneath this video at the end of this video for proven solutions for better blood flow and harder, fuller erections. And yes, the blood flow solutions that I mentioned will also work for women as well. Now, moving on, let's talk about getting wet. Is she into you or not? Now, most people will say or assume that when a guy gets an erection, he must be quote unquote turned on by his partner. Yes, this is mostly true. Granted, if the guy is having maybe hormonal or blood flow problems, then he may not be able to get an erection or maintain one, even though he is turned on. Now, he can be very aroused mentally and emotionally, but maybe things aren't working correctly down there, right? Due to hormones or stress or something similar. Now, when it comes to women, most guys will think or assume that if she isn't wet or lubricated, she isn't turned on or aroused. But this also isn't necessarily true. Again, age, stress, hormones, menstrual cycles, and so forth all play a key role in our ability to produce lubrication. For example, women may have a harder time lubricating naturally after menstruation. Certain medications or even antihistamines also make lubrication more difficult, as do changes in hormones and birth control and age, stress, alcohol, and other drugs. Also, just like guys, the longer you're in a relationship with someone, the longer it's going to maybe take you to get aroused, or in women's case, get wet and lubricated. Again, this all has to do with hormones and neurotransmitters. For example, when you first meet someone, right, your dopamine and testosterone levels actually shoot up, in addition to other hormonal changes. These factors allow you to get aroused quickly. Now, I've listed solutions for improving your hormones and blood flow in this video, underneath the description, underneath this video. Make sure you take a look after you watch this entire video. Either way, the point here is to be patient. And if she's not super wet, don't take it personally, all right? It may not have nothing to do with you. Just make sure you use some form of lubrication, such as your own saliva or spit. Now, the next topic is that the clitoris is twice as sensitive. Now, earlier I mentioned how a woman's clitoris grows just like the penis, right? In fact, in many ways, the clitoris is just like a penis, at least when it comes to sex. And just as the head of the penis is most sensitive, so is the same with the head of the clitoris. Now, here's something you may not know. The clitoris serves one purpose and one purpose only: to make a woman feel good. In fact, it's the only human organ that exists solely for pleasure. And because of this, it's estimated that the clitoris has about 8,000 pleasure sensory nerve endings, while the head of the penis has about 4,000 nerves. Thus, a woman can feel twice the pleasure. It's twice as sensitive just with their clitoris. Now, I'll get to other pleasure areas in a minute, so keep watching. But the point here is that make sure if you want to satisfy your woman, you give extra attention to her clitoris. Take your time, be gentle, and get creative. More importantly, when in doubt, just ask her what she likes. Remember, your only goal is to satisfy her, and she knows better than you do what she really wants, likes, and responds to. Now, the next one is your scrotum and her labia. In addition to the penis, as an area of sexual pleasure is also the guy's, testicles. Basically, the scrotum and the surrounding areas are also very erogenous. Lots of pleasure sensory nerves. Something you may not know is that the clitoris develops from the same area of an embryo as a man's penis. Now, in this same area in the embryo where the scrotum develops in men, the labia majora develops in females. Thus, the surrounding areas and skin of the vagina should also be stimulated gently with fingers and mouth and tongue. So when it comes to pleasure, the penis is like the clitoris and the scrotum is like the labia. All right, so now let's move on to orgasms through intercourse. So far, I've mentioned how sensitive a woman's clitoris is, the labia, and this entire outer and surrounding areas. Yet most guys just want to have intercourse and expect the woman to orgasm. Bad move, guys, unless you're just very selfish. Studies show that 75% of women never achieve orgasms from intercourse alone. Thus, foreplay and external stimulation can be far more important than penetration when it comes to women achieving orgasms. My suggestion is you first stimulate her mind, all right? This can be with words, what you do, anticipation, compliments, and so forth. This starts foreplay. Then stimulate her by kissing her lips, her neck, her breasts, and so forth. And as she gets more aroused emotionally, gently stimulate the outside of her vagina, right? Her labia, her clitoris, and so forth. Then maybe gently insert a finger or two into her vagina while also stimulating her clitoris at the same time. Pay attention to the clues she's giving. Remember her words and sounds, body language, and so forth, her breathing. Finally, when she's just basically ready and she's grinding and basically begging, then you can penetrate her. At this point, if she hasn't already orgasmed, she definitely is ready and will. Remember, women take more time and need more stimulation. Be patient, ask questions, listen, be attentive, curious, and give. Sex, just like a good relationship, is a place to give, not take. All right, let's talk about G-spot and squirting. All right, so speaking of orgasms through intercourse, what about the infamous G-spot? Some say it exists and some say it doesn't. Experts have said the G-spot is an area in the vagina that can give a woman the most pleasure, even more so than clitoral stimulation. Personally, I can assure you that the G-spot does exist. Finding it is another story, and she'll also need to know her body pretty well to help out. Now, if done correctly, right, stimulating the G-spot, not only can you give her an intense orgasm through her G-spot, but you can also make her actually squirt, or what's called female ejaculation. Now, if you want more details about how to find and stimulate the G-spot, maybe give, a squirting or female ejaculation, let me know below in the comment section, and I'll make a specific video about this topic. And now let's talk about the penis and vagina size. As stated in the beginning of this video, guys are a bit obsessed about their penis, all right, especially the size of it. Now, I have an entire video series about how to grow your penis, and I put links to that below this video in the description area, so take a look after this. However, keep in mind that the vaginal canal can actually change in size. It's usually about 3 to 6 inches long. That's about 7.5 to 15 centimeters. But the elastic tissue has the ability to expand by 200% and thus double, and can take thus 6 to potentially 12 inches of the penis size. That's how far it can grow. Now, what's also interesting is that the vagina can also snap back, right, into smaller size, just like a rubber band. So it won't stretch out permanently. However, multiple births or aging or changes in hormones might cause the vagina's muscular elasticity to weaken. But the good news is that Kegel exercises can help. In fact, Kegel exercises can also help men get better and have harder erections. And yes, I've put links to a previous video I've done about Kegels underneath this video in the description area, so make sure you visit after I'm done with this video. So in summary, all right, I've given you lots of things for guys to think about. I suggest you watch and listen to this video again and maybe even take notes. Share it with your buddies if you want, or maybe share it with your lady and ask her what she thinks of it. All right, in fact, ask her if she's got any suggestions for me to add to a part 2 of this video, because there are a few other interesting facts that I'm saving for a later second release of this video. Also, do me a favor and let me know below in the comment section what you've learned and what you want me to cover in future videos, what you might still be confused about. And make sure you're subscribed and click the notification icon so when future videos are released, you'll be notified and you won't miss out. Visit the important links below this video that I mentioned in this video earlier, the topics that I mentioned, such as increasing testosterone levels, improving blood flow, the penis growth video and tutorial, and also the Kegel sizes. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I wish you a very happy and healthy day.